What if the greatest force for good in the entire Marvel Universe was created by accident? By a villain? Not just any villain, but one driven by jealousy, inadequacy, and one massive foundational lie. Today we're talking about the ultimate trickster, the unintentional architect, the God of Mischief himself, Loki. Welcome back to Marvel Echoes Resonance. I'm your host, Will, and today we're diving headfirst into one of the most complex, tragic, and downright entertaining characters in all of comics. Now, if you ask most people who Loki is, they'll probably picture Tom Hiddleston in the MCU, and for good reason. But the comic book version of Loki has a history that is more tangled, more heartbreaking, and ultimately more triumphant. His story isn't just about trying to take over Asgard. It's a story about a character literally fighting against the narrative he was born into. So to really get to it, we have to go all the way back to the Silver Age, back in October of 1962 to be exact. In Journey into the Mystery number 85, Stan Lee, Larry Lieber, and Jack Kirby reintroduced Loki to the world. And I say reintroduced because a generic version had already appeared back in like 1949, but that one, well, it didn't quite stick. This new Loki, however, was different. He was defined by one simple, powerful motivation. He hated his brother, Thor. From this very first appearance, Loki isn't trying to conquer the world for the sake of it. He's trying to prove he's better than the golden son of Asgard. And that right there, it's the genius of it. It's not cosmic megalomania. It's a family drama. It's a feeling we can all understand, even though we're not immortal gods. But the real origin spark, the thing that ignites his entire story, is the lie he was raised under. As we learn later, Loki is not the biological son of Odin. He is a son of Laufey, the king of the frost giants. After a great war, Odin found the infant Loki abandoned because he was small for a frost giant. And, well, he adopted him. He raised him as his own, hoping that one day to unite their two kingdoms. But that secret festered. Loki grew up feeling like an outsider in his own home. Think about it. In Asgard, a society of values strength and bravery above all else. He was the cunning, slender magic user standing next to the brawny, celebrated god of thunder. This lie about his heritage became the central trauma of his life. It's what fuels his rage, his ambition, and his glorious purpose. Every scheme, every betrayal is a desperate cry for the validation he feels he was denied. He's not just evil. He's a kid with a universe-sized identity crisis. And that crisis led to his biggest, most ironic ripple effect. In Avengers number 1, Loki, in another attempt to mess with Thor, uses an illusion to trick the Hulk into going on a rampage. He diverts a distress call, hoping only Thor would answer. But his magic is, well, a bit sloppy, and Iron Man, Ant-Man, the Wasp, they pick up the signal too. They all show up, eventually figure out Loki is behind it all, and team up to take him down. And right after they decide, hey, we work pretty well together. And just like that, the Avengers are born. Yes, the Earth's mightiest heroes were formed because of Loki having a bad day and wanted to pick on his brother. If that's not a perfect echo of his entire character, I don't know what is. So, for decades, that was the loop. Loki hatches a scheme, Thor stops him, wash, rinse, repeat. But in the 2000s, Marvel started to dig deeper. So we're going to fast forward a bit to catch you up in the last decade and a half of Loki's life, because here's where his story goes from classic rivalry to a modern tragedy. It all kicks off in the 2010 event, Siege. Loki, in his most elaborate plan yet, manipulates Norman Osborn into leading an assault on Asgard. But as the battle gets out of control, a truly terrifying monster called the Void is unleashed. A being whose psychological darkness is a manifestation of the Sentry, who we talked about back in episode 1. Loki then has a change of heart. He sees the devastation he's caused his people, and in a final shocking act of heroism, he sacrifices himself to empower the other heroes and save the day. But this is Loki. Death is really just another trick, right? He had arranged it so he wouldn't truly die, but be reborn. And in 2011, writer Kieran Gillen picks up this thread in a new Journey into Mystery series. Thor finds Loki reincarnated as a young boy in Paris, a street magician with no memory of his past evil. This is Kid Loki. It's a brand new, clean slate for him. Well, or is it? This is where the story gets brilliant. Kid Loki is innocent. He genuinely wants to be a hero, but no one trusts him. To everyone in Asgard, he is still the god of lies. He's a character literally at war with his own history, his own canon. He is fighting against the story that says he must become a villain again. And he uses the only tools he has, lies and tricks. But now, he's using them for good. The emotional peak of this entire saga is one of the most heartbreaking moments in modern comics. Kid Loki realizes that to defeat great evil, the world doesn't need a good-hearted kid. It needs Loki, the master manipulator. So, in a final act of self-erasure, he allows an echo of his old evil self, a being named Ikol, to consume and replace him. The innocent boy is gone forever, murdered by his own past to save the future. It's a narrative assassination. The being that walks away, Ikol, is the old Loki in a child's body, now burdened with the guilt of having killed his better self. Haunted by his act, he joins the young Avengers, trying to find a new path. He's manipulative. He's untrustworthy. But he's undeniably trying to be a hero as a form of penance. This directly leads him into the next phase of Loki, Agents of Asgard. Here, he finally confronts his ultimate problem, the story itself. He learns that his destiny is to become a future depraved King Loki who destroys everything. But instead of fighting it, he finds a loophole. He is the god of lies. And what are lies? They're just stories. He rejects the binary of a hero and a villain and redefines himself, graduating from the god of lies to the god of stories. He takes control of his own narrative, finally achieving the agency that Kid Loki so tragically lost. As of 2025, this is who Loki is. A master of narrative, walking a fine line between his past and his self-created future. A true wildcard in the Marvel Universe. So I'll leave you with this question. After everything he's been through, is the modern Loki truly a hero, or is he just a better liar, telling more convincing story of heroism to himself and everyone else? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for listening to this episode of Marvel Echoes. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit the subscribe so you don't miss any of our future episodes. Leaving a like really helps the podcast grow. Also, if you'd like to make a suggestion for a future episode, make sure you leave that in a comment below as well. For additional content, including new reader guides, visit our website in the description links. Till next time, true believers, make mine Marvel.